What's going on, everyone? It's DB, and we're back in Roblox BedWars, and today I'm going to be showing you some ways you can get better at the game. I'm actually going to give you some practical ideas on how to train yourself to get better at the game, and I can almost guarantee you that you're going to get better after doing some of these things, okay? It's a practice routine. So just like any sport, just like anything, you got to practice and train, right? So I'm going to be showing you this without feeling the pressure of losing or winning in games. So the hardest part of learning and improving is that you're always trying to actually win a match. And that's not really the goal of training. Sometimes you don't need to win a match to actually get better. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it's gonna make sense in a moment. Now, I've been playing the game since it came out, so it's been almost a year. In fact, I've been playing since before it came out, since I helped the devs test it before release. So I've been around in this game for a long time. I also have one of the top clans currently in the game. I think as of today, they were like ranked #1 inside the UCA. I learned a lot from them as well. So some of these tips are going to be from some of my learnings from playing with them. I have a lot of learning myself. So what I'm gonna be showing you here is actually how I am training to get better as well. So these are great methods. Before I begin though, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So the first thing we're going to cover is doing custom matches. Custom matches is the greatest way for you to actually learn and improve. I know that sounds weird, being by yourself and practicing by yourself, but this is really going to be the most stress-free way of doing it. And so all you got to do is go to the customs match guy and just make sure you join a team before you start match. If you join a team before you start match, you will be placed by yourself, and you can do this by yourself, but I do have Dashy here because we're going to be showing some stuff that actually requires one more player. So some things you're going to need a friend to actually help you out with. So make sure you grab a friend. So the first thing you want to do is learn your movement, okay? And the cool thing about this while you're practicing movement is you can always spawn balloon infinite. So definitely check out my commands video. If you haven't watched that, it's super helpful. That way you don't die. Like if you're just practicing this, you don't have to wait and stuff. So we'll just go and spawn some wool as well. That way I can show you some of this stuff. So first is movement. Now, one of the things that people don't really realize is they can sprint, okay? And you usually see someone that's new to the game and they're just kind of walking like this. And by the way, if you are an experienced player, some of this is going to be really, really basic for you. Some of it may not be. Some of these are great ideas. Any kind of skill level, some of these are going to help you. You got, your ability to sprint, and so on. A lot of players just kind of like this, and they don't realize they should be sprinting. So I pretty much am always sprinting, except for combat, thanks to my friend Dino. He mentioned that, in certain engagements, you want to unsprint, and you'll be able to win some encounters because, knockback and such. So being able to, learn how to move third person and first person. So that's going to be incredibly important. And knowing distance. So, a lot of people don't really know how far they can jump, and that's incredibly important for you to understand your distance that you can actually jump. So should you be able to do this? And yes, you can make that. You can actually make that. Some people do too far though, and you're going to run into a situation like this where I actually know how to do it. But if I did it right here, I'm going to go down, right? So I would have fallen. So you need to know your distance for jumping, and this is a great way to practice, is just kind of jump around and just listen to a movie or watch a movie and just do this and learn the movement. Full sprint, knowing how to wrap around too. This is a little bit of a hobby skill, but being able to wrap around blocks is incredibly important. So just practice doing this over and over. Get your hand-eye coordination down, and you're going to actually improve quite a bit. The other thing is knowing how to do this, the 2-block, and you can just do, if you're worried about falling, you can just do this. So, when someone's going like this, you're chasing someone and they go like this, and you're chasing them, right? They're up there. You can pretty much just jump around it. And that's incredibly important. So again, some basics, but practice. Practice your third person too. It's a little different going third person. So next thing you should know is bridging. So you see he bridged over here. He almost has a clean diagonal bridge. I will tell you that first person is the way to go. So you can pretty much do this. And the cool thing about it is as long as you keep your mouse above the location, it's pretty much going to keep building that way. So you want to get really, really far ahead. You don't want to be like this. You don't want to be going really slow like this. I see so many people that do this. So that is going to be bridging. So, first person is definitely going to be the way to go. Diagonal is pretty easy because you can just kind of see the alignment. Like if you're starting to do this kind of stuff and you're wasting blocks, don't do that. Always go straight and then diagonal. So try not to waste your blocks. One of the other things you can do right here is perfect. So what they do is they skip like that, and look how much more I got because I did every other. So it saves you a ton of blocks by skipping every other. The next thing you should do is practice telebridging. If you already know how to do everything else, practice telebridging. So telebridging is not easy, but basically it helps if you're like a fast clicker. Pretty crazy, like the speed that some people can do it, and it's just something I got to practice myself. I don't telebridge. Telebridging is pretty cool. It's something that takes a lot of practice in my opinion, and for me especially. The other thing you want to do is learn how to do this kind of bridging. So you can see how third person bridging, being able to go straight up is huge. This is something that I personally need to practice a lot more of. Just being able to go straight up and learning how to go straight up like that. And you can also go straight up on first person, learn that. Learning how to do recovery, if you're falling, being able to recover. Another thing to practice is the towers, being able to stay on a tower. So you're doing this and, kind of strafing around them And you can't do this as easily if your bed is about to be broken, right? This is why it's incredibly important to do it in customs, is because you could do this and be messing around, not worrying about someone actually killing you. So you could fall, you could die, not worried that you're actually throwing your round, you know? Learning how to surround this thing, huge, being able to stay up really high and then, you know, progressing down, being able to jump, know the distances between these. Again, just learning how to do proper bridging is huge. I like recover building. Basically means if I got hit a bunch of times, maybe I'm at someone's bed, like over here, and then they're coming and they're hitting me, I could basically do this and heal up a bit. And I also like to do a little bit of a 360 usually so that they can't hit me, especially if they have bows and such. And if they're building up right here, see how he's doing that? I could try to block him, but it was too late. He was just too fast. But if you see someone, you know, building up, just block them and they get stuck under your bridge. So here he goes. So you can block him. See how I blocked him? And he fell. And he has to do it again. And now he's hacking. Now he's hacking. While you're up here, you can heal. And then once you're ready again, you can drop down and start engaging them and just do it again. Build back up. The other thing you do is something that is, you know, you probably saw in some of my videos. I think Mini Bloxia mentioned it, and so did Kyrie. But first hit blocking is huge. So you don't want to go this tall, but you do want to go up a little bit. And what you're going to do is you're going to drop down and then you're going to hit them. You want to get first hit so they don't get first hit, because generally speaking, it's like even number of hits. Whoever gets the most hits is going to win, obviously, but it's actually by one hit. So when you're first starting out the game, it's only by one hit. So that's just a one hit difference or split that will make the difference of winning a battle with someone that's not armored and has the same sword as you. So the next thing I want to show you is block clutching. So this is what I showed you a little bit earlier. So obviously I can make that jump, but if I couldn't make this jump that I'm about to do, then you can block clutch like that. See how it kind of built while I was falling? And I'll show you that again. So we're doing the jump and then I almost fell. So just having your blocks out all the time while you're playing is huge. Don't keep your weapon out first. Keep your blocks out. That's the main thing you want to keep open, is your blocks, so that if this happens, you can save yourself, right? And that's how you do it. We call it block clutching. The other thing block clutching can include is if you're, crossing a bridge and you get bowed, you can do that. And it's incredibly important to be able to do it quickly. So if you get bowed to the side, you can go, see how I just saved myself on the side there? So block clutching is huge. If you ever heard it, that's basically what it means. So being able to stay alive when you're supposed to technically be dead because you fell in the void. The other thing you can do is if you're being chased by someone, bridging is huge. So you can go straight up, climb around. This is what I've done usually to escape people. And then if they are chasing you, you can kind of go back over them. It makes it really hard for them because now they have to waste a bunch of blocks. Because first of all, when you're chasing them and they go up this way, they have to go sideways. They have to think about that, and then they have to go up. And this is a great opportunity for you to kill them. You see how I just block clutch right then too. But this is a great opportunity. If you're above them, you can knock them while they're building up. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of things here. Bed breaking. So bed breaking is pretty straightforward. Like if you're going to do a bed break, you can do like a little bit of a TNT drop over it. Make sure you have an axe, and then you're going to drop down and break it, right? And axes are a really, really great way to do that. The cool thing about this is if they don't have blocks, they can't reach you. You can basically TNT bomb them, drop down, take out their bed in a couple shots, and that is the best way you can break a bed. Honestly, it's the best way you can break one. Another way you can do it is using blocks. And so what you do is you place some blocks like this, and you make it so they can't reach you, right? So basically you're walled in. Then you're going to take this out. Ideally, you should be using shears, by the way. And then you're going to break it that way. That way, they have to actually spend some time to do this. They have to break in. And what I like to do is when I get a little closer in, I block again. That way they have to go through 2 layers of wool. Now, if they have shears or they're smart, they would just go straight up from here and break it, or the sides. So they're not going to chase me through here. They're going to chase me through here, because then all they got to do is tap me. So that's how you do it. You just basically, block in like this. You're going to see a lot of pros do this a lot. It's a good idea to get it down on how fast to do it. And it's not the way I'm doing it. If you see someone that actually knows what they're doing, it takes like maybe a second. It takes them like a second or so to do it. All right, the next thing we need to show you is sword fighting. Now, Key is going to be really knowing when to fight someone. So you got to quickly evaluate. He's got emerald armor. I'm not messing with him. I don't even have armor on me right now, right? I don't have armor right now. Now, what if I was equally armored as him? We'll get to that in a second. Now, you can outskill them regardless of, the gear. If you know how to hit harder, faster. We don't know what kind of sword he's got, so we're going to assume, okay, I see an iron sword. I think it's an iron sword, so I'm going to spawn a diamond sword. And now we get to see whether or not he's got upgrades. He might have upgrades. So if he's got upgrades, he can still technically destroy me here. Oh, I've got so many hits on him. He's taking so many hits. So he keeps falling too. And we're going to go up and chase him. Oh, he's going to die. There he is. He just took a lot of damage. He's running, so running is a good sign that you're probably heading up on him. So chasing him down, still valuable. So I knew I could outsword him, right? Just from reading his blade, you can see he had an iron sword. We know he has a wooden sword now, so if I went after him again, there's no way he's gonna have a better sword than me. So again, awareness of what your enemy has is huge. I just knocked him again. Next is knowing how to combo. So third person I found a little bit easier to be able to hit. So if you're trying to, hit someone, also make sure your mouse pointer is over them so you're not missing them. Make sure you're clicking on them. That way you get a little bit more range. You get an extra block range if you actually click on them versus just do normal like this. Clicking on them will actually give you one more block range. Also upgrading is huge. So I'm going to show you that right now. Being able to get armor protection, but also damage. So maxing these out is going to be huge. And you can actually take someone out that's diamond armored pretty easily if you have these upgrades. So next thing to know is when to run, right? So you can see he's got me a couple hits on me. So now I know I'm like almost dead. He's got really like 2 more hits on me and then I'll probably die. So you need to know when to run. He's still chasing me and I can hit him a couple times. He's running now. So you can see he knows when to run too. He's skilled. He's not new to the game. And then I'm just going to recover real quick. There he is. He's shooting me with arrows. Smart strat. And I'm not going to cover that in this video, but knowing how to combo items is really helpful. And I just knocked him and took him out. Yeah, so knowing your weapons, knowing your kits, knowing their kits. Maybe someone's like Elder Tree, maybe someone's, barbarian, and they actually upgrade their sword mid combat. So they get a couple of hits off of you and suddenly they switch swords to an iron sword, you're probably gonna get finished pretty quickly. Or they might even, turn into a diamond sword. But just knowing those things is gonna make a huge difference in your combat. So the next thing we're gonna cover is aim. And I'm not talking about sword aim. Sword aim is kind of important too, but we're talking about arrow aim. And that is the ability to like actually hit your targets. And part of it's I like first person. A lot of players swear by third like this. It does take a little bit of practice. Wow, that went through. You can see, you just need to know the line, and line needs to go through their body, but essentially. And it's not that hard in third person, but the problem is I like this because I can actually see them. And I'm hitting them constant. And if you have tactical bow with the archer, even better. But the cool thing about this is you can learn how to improve your aim, but just, do something like this inside of a match with your friends. Turn off bed breaking. You can keep, you can even turn PvP off if you don't want to die. Like maybe you don't want to adjust each other's health. Just turn PvP off. You can still, shoot each other. But I like this because you can see the damage indicator that whether or not you hit. The other thing about aim is predicting movement. And that's one of the hardest things to get down early on is knowing when, actually how to predict their movement. Like that. Seeing that he's going vertical. Hit him again. He just got launched. And he died. He died. It's either aim prediction or leading. So leading is kind of the same thing. So what it is if you know that they're going to be crossing this bridge, you basically don't aim straight at them. That's like the #1 no-no. This is the case for a lot of games that have ranged projectiles, really, because, and this is the same for balloons, right? See, I've got balloons right now. You need to do the same for these because he knows I'm moving left. Now he's going to aim left. But if you aim directly at the player, unless they're stopped, you got to do it when they're stopped. And he's going to try snowballs. So the same thing with snowballs, by the way. Snowballs are like rapid fire arrows. They're really good for balloons. So practice with your aim, practice targets, have them move around. I just shot him. I knew he was going that way. Also, if you're not very good at arrows, learn where the arrow goes. So like, check this out. So what I do, I would just get on a map like this by myself and I would just try to aim, like figure out the distance where arrows land. So you can see now I can know, okay, if I want to reach there, then I need to go up a little bit higher and look at my crosshair to where it lands. So now you know the distance that you need to be able to hit stuff that far away. So just practice, and then close range stuff. Obviously, it's going to be dead on. Almost. It's just a little lower. So that is how you do it. All right, the next thing we're going to cover is map awareness. And map awareness is such a critical aspect of matches. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So first of all, let's see. Green. So there's someone at green. That's Cat over there. You can see someone's already mid. That's Finland. Finland's bed is exposed. So is Cat's. So we can get an idea of what kind of defense they have, where they're going. So they're both, looks like Cat is going mid as well. He might be going to try to break someone's bed. In our case, we have beds locked, so you can't actually break each other's bed. The other thing I want to know is what kind of gear do they have? So, I'm obviously leathered now, so we're going to go out. Now he's going back to his bed, so I can't take his bed, but I could take Cat's bed. And let me go over here. And so obviously they've got emeralds. So now I know they're a threat. So if they come back, they could have pearls, they could have balloons. Now I have an idea of what Finland has over there. It looks like Cat's here and I can decide, well, I already know I'm already a little bit better than Cat gear wise. So we're going to go through and I'm going to hope Finland boosts me. If not, I got Cat. Oh, he just died from fall damage. I'm equally geared, but he's got an advantage being a little higher than me. Knowing where everyone's at all the time, he's heading towards him, so I can actually go and take out his bed. He's there. No, he's just getting more emeralds. So he's farming. I already know he's farming. And in this case, I know I can go and take out Cat's bed. Or I could take his bed out because he doesn't have any defense. So again, every now and then check, where players are, especially in this situation. You need to know where they're at. If they're above you, then you could be toast. Like if you don't know where they're at, then you've got trouble. And knowing what kind of gear they have, what kind of defenses they're putting out. So they don't have any defense still yet. If you saw some people taking out beds, then that would be a sign that you could probably take out their bed, or they're about to respawn back at their base if they, fail their push. So I can see tags, so I know where he's heading. He's going back to base. So now I know I can go and probably try to collect some emeralds. Looks like he's got them all. What's the timer at? So I'm about to get another wave of emeralds here. So I know I'm safe from him. I don't know where this... Oh, there he is. So I'm completely safe mid now, and I've got control of mid right now. Now he has... I know he's got 8 emeralds, so that's a bad thing, right? He can actually go and come out with diamond armor, which he probably will. So again, it's not just about killing all the time. It's about tracking your enemy. And he probably has enough. I've got 6 right now. He probably has enough. I don't have a good sword. And you can see he's defending now, so that's good. So I know I could probably hang out here maybe another 10 seconds before he decides to come back out. And I'm not happy with my sword. I got to watch my back from Cat. So again, really just breaking everything down while you're playing. And you do this, kind of subconsciously. You don't think about it like I do. I sometimes describe things that I'm, thinking about in my videos, and I'm not doing it because I'm like worried. It's really comes down to describing what I'm seeing in a slower way, if that makes sense. So we got 8 now. So I know for a fact, okay, so he's got a pretty nice defense. But both, I don't know what's under those defenses. So knowing what, they have at their base is important. I see he's coming back out mid. I've got an extra pearl, so I can go and take out his defense. I've got enough to get diamond armor. So we're going to get this. We're going to go ahead and get some shears because all I see is wool currently. I'm going to take this, and then because I'm leaving my base, I'm going to put a duck out here. So just to guard it because I don't have anything out. There we go. So that is map awareness. Next is map control. We kind of covered this a little bit, but map control is incredibly important. Obviously, need some gear here. I need some more diamonds as well because he's going back out. So again, map control is our goal right now. So if I had a pearl, I would go out, and I do have a pearl because I just spawned one. But I would really try to focus on this area and control it so the enemy can't get balloons, they can't get pearls, they can't get armor unless they go after diamonds. And that would be the obvious next phase of this is going after their diamonds, or just kill them before they can actually go back to base. Like this guy, he's over here. Let's go check out his defense real quick while he's out. And he's got some Teslas in there, so we know we have to back off a little bit. And pearling, we won't even cover pearling in this or ballooning or anything like that. You should already have those skills. If you don't, the one thing I would tell you is if it's a thin surface, pearl into it and you'll go into it. You'll go up to the next layer. So like this, you'll always pearl up to the next layer. The other thing while we're doing this, by the way, the other thing is map knowledge. So knowing the best routes to things, how many blocks you need between generators, between beds. So when you go and rush or you go to get something, you know exactly how many you're going to need. So as far as bed breaking goes, I did show a video with different techniques you can use. Definitely check that video out. I will link it in the description. The other thing you want to do is learn bed defense. Understand the type of defense you need for the match. Don't overspend if you don't need it. So a lot of players that I've seen will basically invest the entire match on their defense, and you'll see them hanging around their bed like this. That's only really important for certain matches. Like you might have someone that needs to like set up a decent defense, but if you see most of the top clans, they never do that, especially in my tournament. What they do is they will put it, obsidian. That's pretty generic, that they'll go out and get some emeralds and they'll put obsidian, just to give them some life in the game, especially if you're going up against an aggressive clan that breaks really well. The other thing is knowing the combination of things to do, and you can also do fake beds. You can do all kinds of stuff with defense. I haven't really done a whole lot of defense videos just because I don't really, like it, but I might do a couple videos if you want to see one. I can show you the different methods of doing really cool defenses. This is not it. This is not it. Of course, if you can have an infinite obsidian, of course that's going to be best, but that's not realistic. Defense is important only depending on the match you're in, and a lot of the cases, if you're with a really, really skilled clan, you probably won't need any blocks in your bed. All you got to do is just keep an eye on your bed. It's all about map awareness. Like I said, you don't need defense if you're aware of what's going on the map. So usually you'll see me in matches. I'm looking everywhere. I see him right there. I identify who's, where the red tags are. I know where he's at. I know where they're at. If they're all at their bed, then I know no one's going after my bed. Now, if they're over at diamond, really, really red flag. If someone's at the diamond next to your base, chances are, even though there's no bridge right here, they can go and start bridging over while you're heading over here getting resources. And you're going to have to reset if that happens. You're going to have to reset back to your base so you don't lose your bed. Special thanks to Finland, Dash, and Kat here for helping me out with this video. Let me know how your training goes. Definitely try to do this every day, especially before and after matches if you can. And as far as, practicing your aim, where you're just kind of messing around and getting a feel for everything, right? I just set his health to 1. GD. Easy. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.